she goes to a jazz cafe and a guy explains that like, ooh, this was recorded after the singer died.
How did they get his voice?
She got in like an accident and then arrived at the recording studio, and her dead body started scatting.
Oh, I've heard of this, dude.
They were like,
they're like, okay, they put the headphones on there. They
what a crazy.
Okay, we're gonna do another one. Can you do another one? You need some water? You good? She's like,
you look a little dehydrated over there. You're good to go. Skidly bow bow, skidly bow bow bow. Welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Josh Cat Ears Michaels, and today I'm joined by
Megan Farine,
Cody Decker.
And if you can't tell, it's Spooktober. If you're listening, yeah, give it up for Spooktober one time. Yeah. Yeah.
That was good.
If you're not watching and you're only listening, then you're missing out on the visual aesthetic of the set that we have going on in today's episode and all throughout Spooktober. We went to the 99-cent store and decked out the Volume 1 set. And I think I'm pretty happy with the decorations. I feel very festive.
Yeah.
A lot of people are bummed out about Halloween this year, but we're going big.
No, we're going big.
We're going super big.
Dude.
In today's episode, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to review the entire first volume, the only volume of the Junji Ito, the horror manga master himself, the first volume of his collection of short stories called Shiver. And because there are 9 short stories in this volume, we decided to split it up into 3 stories each. So I am going to be reviewing 3, Cody 3, Megan 3. And we're going to start by all kind of reviewing and talking about our favorite. And then, our least favorite, and then we're going to reveal our favorites at the end. Yeah, I fucked it up. I already fucked it up.
Whoa, Cody.
I already fucked it up. Anyway, so without further ado, let's just jump into the episode, jump into the review, and I guess we'll start with Megan. Do you want to start us off?
Sure. So I got the Hanging Blimp, Marionette Mansion, and the Painter.
Okay.
And when I saw I got the Painter, I knew what it was because I'm cosplaying today, you guys. Yes.
Give it up for cosplaying.
Hold the okay, don't hold the applause. Give the applause. Yes.
Don't hold the applause.
Tomoe, which is a very, if you know anything about Junji Ito, you got into Tomoe. Like cosplay communities, like head over heels with Tomoe. She's a cool character, and everyone loves her. And there's like a scene where her head is all. It's very everywhere. My friend even, I think, has it's either Tomoe or something from Junji Ito. She has a tattoo, which is really dope.
Of the face kind of swirling?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And if you know Tomoe, you know Junji Ito, whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna try to cosplay a character from the mangas that we're reviewing each week this Spooktober. I'll try my best. If I can, then I can, but I tried today. And we'll see where it goes.
I think it looks dope. I think your cosplay looks amazing. Cody thought that your hair was the same it always is.
Yeah,
he thought you magically grew 6 inches of hair.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't notice.
Yeah, he doesn't notice
it's
you,
okay.
And that's pretty fucked up. But
fine.
it's not really his job to. So.
No,
it's not that much longer than your normal hair.
It is.
And you've been talking about wanting bangs for a while, which I remember. And I told you it would look good.
Thanks.
And I thought, she did the thing she said she was going to do.
My hair didn't grow
magically.
inches, and this is brown.
Oh, it's like
my
a
hair's
dark
black.
brown. Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. We're not here to talk about Megan. We're here to talk about Junji Ito.
Well, before we get into your least favorite of the 3 you read, what were kind of all of your thoughts going into reading Shiver? Because I've heard of Junji Ito. Obviously, everybody knows who he is. He's a legend. But I've never read a single story of his before. Same for you?
Yeah, me either.
Same for you. So what did you guys expect going into this?
I had high expectations,
Me
definitely.
too.
I've seen like panels and like some artwork from him, so I knew that he does like awesome, very detailed graphic shit, so I was very excited to go in, and it got delivered to me in a little bow.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
What did you think, Cody?
I thought it was gonna be like that one where it's like people find holes, they walk into holes, and I'm like, maybe this is scary in a culture. I can't relate to this kind of horror.
What do you mean holes?
You didn't know? There's a manga where like people find holes shaped like people, and like, oh, this hole is my hole, and they have these compulsions to walk into holes.
Yeah, like the anime where like they dig holes.
Right, the Shia LaBeouf anime.
Yeah, the famous Shia LaBeouf anime. He's talking about that.
Oh, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know about that hole. And I know about other holes too.
And he wants to become the Hole King. So to do that, they have to like dig holes.
The Hole Kage. He wants to become the Hole Kage.
Oh god.
I do know about that manga series too. The Hole Kage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. I obviously had high expectations. I knew I've seen art, random screenshots or panels here and there. So I had very high expectations, and I kind of didn't think I was going to get grossed out or bothered by anything I read or saw, and I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Yeah, it got me at one point. Now I'm very itchy.
And you've been itchy since you've read it.
Yeah.
Wow, it has that effect, definitely. Yeah. I read it home alone, and which is weird because everyone's like, I live with like 3 other people, so someone's usually home, and I was just reading it by myself, and I was like, I kept like looking behind my corner, and I was like, should I take a shower? And I was like, no, I'll just wait till everyone comes back. I don't want to take a shower by myself.
Yeah, it's spooky to say the least.
That's the thing. Like, I know there's not going to be a demon, but let's just wait. Let's just wait. I know there's no such thing as demons, but
what if one gets me?
Just wait till
safe than sorry.
I mean, they'll be back soon. I mean, it'd be rude if I took a shower when they weren't here.
Yeah. It's not because I'm afraid. It's because
no.
I just want people to know I shower.
Yeah, I'm gonna close my closet though, because I know it'd be absurd if there was someone there.
Do you guys do that
when I'm properly spooked up?
Not even spooked up, just day to day.
Not day to day, but if I do see something that scares me, like a movie, or I couldn't bring myself to watch the new Invisible Man movie because the thought of an invisible person really freaked me out. And I do a podcast with an invisible man.
You know who's invisible?
Got him.
Your girlfriend.
Anyway, Megan, why don't you kick us off with
got him.
With
I'm sorry, is that actually bad? Am I allowed not to make? You can make like jokes like that. I can't make jokes like that.
It's very funny when you do it.
Was that directed that was directed at him, right?
You too.
Me too. Okay. Well, then, yeah, it was good, but you know what's intangible is your respect for me.
Yeah, that is. It's also like an apparition.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? I guess you should.
Megan, what was your least favorite of the 3?
If I had to say, I mean, I like all of them, not pedestal, whatever. But out of all of them.
Yeah.
I might have to say Tomoe, the painter.
Whoa.
Yeah, even though I am her. It was just a little underwhelming for me.
What's that one about? Tell us the synopsis.
I have it written down. It's better than me just explaining it because...
God damn.
Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of notes on this. Okay. An artist finds a new model who believes she is the most beautiful girl and wants to capture her beauty on canvas. So this girl's pretty much like, I like your art here, but, what would be better in your art? Me. And she's just like, I am beautiful. I'm the best. Like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, like, sure. And then he just can't stop thinking about her. And then she shows up, and then he tries to paint her, and it's not right. And she's like, you call this painting? Garbage. And then and it goes further on. But it wasn't as scary as all the other ones. It wasn't.
Yeah, and now, just as a visual aid, we're trying something new here. As a visual aid, I'm actually going to pull up a picture
by picture,
of Tomoe right here. And, let's see if you can strike that pose.
There's like a smirk, like a cat smirk. She
does have a little smirk. But I do see the resemblance. So this is Tomoe. This is her here. And she's one of the characters from The Painter.
Yeah, and she is like a reoccurring character, I believe, in a lot of his work. So people know her. She's like, they've had a live adaptation of, I think, like her, like, she has a standalone story, and they made like a live adaptation in like 1999 of like with real actors and shit. So she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
Yeah, she's a big deal. But she's in the story, and he can't quite capture her on canvas for whatever reason, and
where does
chaos unfolds.
Yeah, where does the horror element? I think we'll probably keep this semi-spoiler free, but what was your question?
Yeah, because like, how are we gonna, if we're gonna each talk about a bunch of stories, are we gonna get like a spoiler alert for each individual one?
I think it's better if we just kind of, we'll have to talk about some details. So these are also a collection of short stories as well. This isn't his entire body of work. Obviously, he has a lot of other stories out there. So if anything we say interests you, we'll try not to give too much away, but we will have to reveal certain story details. So just expect light spoilers going forward, I guess, for the Shiver stories. You think that's fair,
Yes.
Cody?
Okay. So will there be a spoiler alert at all?
At the end, if we feel like...
we want to touch on some other things.
All right. Yeah.
I have one planned.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was worried.
Well, we'll save it for the very end of the episode. So light spoilers up until that point, and then at the very end, we'll just do the spoiler or
Cool.
drop the spoiler bombs.
All right. So this one, he's forced to paint this woman.
He's not forced. I mean, he goes to one of his shows and she's like, I make you a better me. And he's like, cool, I don't believe it, whatever, bye. And then he can't really stop thinking about her. And ever since she kind of says something about his art, he's not very focused. His artistic side is all fucked up. And then he starts painting her again, and he can't capture it for whatever reason. And he goes kind of like mad. Like, I need to draw her perfectly. She can't. She won't stay out of my mind. Like, I'm always thinking about her. And then he finds out she's like amused to someone else, and she kind of has this like ability to make artists crazy.
Oh,
or something. I don't know. They don't really super touch on it, but she's mentioned it. Like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. He's like, cool.
Interesting.
But they kind of go like crazy, and he kind of goes crazy too. And I won't give away the ending, but
he's like obsessed with her beauty. Everyone's
everyone's obsessed with her beauty. They think that she's like the shit.
Interesting.
But I mean,
I feel like I've met a few women like that.
Yeah, what is she?
She's the Teruhashi
girlfriend.
Exactly. Is she every artist's girlfriend?
Yeah, she's the Teruhashi of the Junji Ito collection.
That'd be funny if that was like that's just what the author's girlfriend looks like.
Oh, that would be funny.
She's like,
that'd be cute. Actually, that wouldn't be like, funny. It's cute.
It would be scary. It would be very scary.
He's obsessed with her.
Yeah, would that be cute or would that be scary? I don't know. Because then if I was her, I'd be like, okay, you weirdo.
Yeah, but Junji Ito's like, is his scary cute,
Oh, that's a good point. Is his love language spooky?
Mm-hmm.
Is his love language?
We're watching
horror.
A video, me and Cody, about him going through videos of being like scared or not scared, and he's just such a cute man. He's so giggly and he's so smiley, and he's just so sweet.
Yeah, he's a very sweet guy.
It was nice how he reacted. It was also, I feel like these people are just wasting this guy's time.
Oh yeah,
because like, it's a cat going into a sofa, and he's like, oh, was that supposed to be like? And I'm like, you have this like famous author, and they just sent him like a dumb video.
There's so many videos like that. They make him do so much shit, and he just does it, and he just likes to do it. It's so funny.
Yeah, and he's like, I guess maybe the cat was sucked in.
I imagine in Japanese he's saying, I work really hard on these stories. Right? They're like hard to draw.
Yeah,
right?
He's like, I'm a master. I've been a manga for 10 years. I'm very well established.
Yeah.
I am the horror manga
God.
specialist.
Yeah.
Why would you show me this? And they're like, on the subtitles, okay, just edit that out.
Yeah, they're like, cute cat. And he's like, I have a lot of work to do. You care about my process, or you care about like, I don't know, how I learned to do this? No. We want to show you more cat videos.
I think we should do a scale, like from maybe 1 to 5 of scary factor.
Okay. How was this one?
What's the lowest?
Yeah.
Lowest?
On a scale of what to what?
5 is the scariest.
No, yeah, but like, are we just gonna do a number, or are we gonna be like,
no, we should, on
a scale of Goosebumps to
Itos.
On a scale of Goosebumps would be, I imagine,
Goosebumps is
pretty up there, right? Or
Goosebumps is
in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's say on a scale of like spooky being maybe the lowest, like right?
Spoopy.
Spooky.
Spoopy.
I think spoopy should be the lowest.
Spoopy's the lowest. Second is spooky. So spooky.
These are going to be impossible to remember.
Spooky.
Goosebumps.
Spooky.
Creepy. And then my ex.
That's what the whole bit was for, to get there. Okay, yeah. Was it on a scale? Let's do it on a scale of let's start from the lowest. spooky to ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
You know? And so how scary was it?
Okay.
All right.
It was definitely pooky. A 3.
It wasn't that
It was
scary.
not
It was
that
middle
scary.
of the road, kinda.
Yeah, it was more just like a thriller, I felt. It didn't compare to the other ones in the horror aspect.
Okay. Do you want to move on to Cody's next, or do you have anything else to add?
Okay, because I'm also I didn't know about this guy until reading this, and it seems like the story's endings are they don't really have endings as far as the ones I was reading.
I think what he does, as far as what I read, is he has these like very interesting concepts, and he introduces these very like interesting situations and just like all kinds of just concepts, and they don't necessarily. He has such a short amount of time to wrap them up, so they don't always get wrapped up with the prettiest bow. But the ones I read seem to have at least a conclusive ending, and it made me content as far as where it ended. But it also could have, some of these ideas could have been entire series, or could have been entire like an entire movie. It felt like, but it was just one chapter of manga, and I don't know if that made it really good because it was just super concentrated, or if it made it mediocre.
Well, I'm gonna pick Used Record, and it's a record that like it's someone scatting.
Ooh.
Like what? Anyway, and it's like these two girls are like playing it, and one girl who I'm rooting for, she was like, "Why are we listening to records? We have
rooting for her."
Yeah, he's like, "We have CDs. Why are we listening to this on a record? Can I like record it onto a CD so I can listen to it later? Just against those people that are like, oh, it sounds so much crisper."
Right.
I thought that was the point of it, and up until then, I'm like, this is a good story. And then they're like, "You can't have it. You can't have this." I was like, "I want it though." And then she's like, "You know what? Get out of here. You can't. You don't get it. You appreciate music. This is I've been here before."
Yeah.
Just talking to a hipster, and she's like, "Wait, my record's gone. My friend stole it," and she just picks up a rock and it's about the fallout of her like escaping with the record, because she's like, I have to download this.
So
it wasn't. It
was about internet piracy, or what was it?
Which I guess for an artist would be the spookiest story of all.
Yeah.
You wouldn't steal a cop car.
Oh yeah, I
you
remember all of those.
rob a bank.
You wouldn't download a car. It's like, if it was free, yes, I would.
Oh, dude, if I could download cars, I'd be driving a Tesla right now.
You know what I mean?
I would settle for a car.
We know you would settle. We know you would
2 years
settle.
newer than mine.
We know.
We
know.
Yeah, we know. On a scale of
spoopy. I didn't think this was scary at all.
Wow.
Like, maybe the concept was like, I was like, oh, I guess maybe if I was cursed to like be fascinated with a record player, if I was given essentially a hipster curse, that would be scary. Where I'm like, oh yes, the sound is so crisp.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like, it's so crazy. Your story sounds similar to the 3 I read, but all 3 of mine were extremely scary. So for you to have one about a record is odd to me.
Like, cause she's like running. I guess there would be spoilers, but it's like the very beginning of it, so I don't know if that's like.
No, probably not.
Cause they get into a rock fight. Cause the hipster one, she throws the rock at the girl's back, and she collapses. Then she picks up the rock and bashes the other one's head in, and she's like, "You okay? Oh, I killed her," and just immediately drags her into an alley. Like, that was just no hesitation. Just, all right, this body's. But then like the hipster friend starts like singing. She's like, "Oh, okay, you're fine."
Wow.
She starts scatting like skibidi pop pop.
They took music genres way too seriously.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's called rock. It's called rock and roll. You know?
Yeah,
no.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then
Rock and Die.
Not rock and die. Yeah.
She takes it to shops and she's like, "Oh, can you play this so I can like get it on my phone?" Like, what are you talking about? We won't play this for you. It's like, these are music shops. And she goes to another shop like, how dare you even ask us that? Get out of this shop now. And then a guy's like, "Oh, I recognize this. This is mine." And then now she's getting chased across town, and then by people that like, "Hey, stop that girl. She stole my record." And then she goes to a jazz cafe and a guy explains that like, ooh, this was recorded after the singer died.
How did they get his voice?
She got in like an accident and then arrived at the recording studio, and her dead body started scatting.
Oh,
I've heard of this, dude. I've heard of people like farting after death.
Yeah,
and breathing after death.
And that's on the
Scatting.
label. Yeah, they were just like,
they're like, okay, they put the headphones on there. They blah, blah, blah,
What a crazy.
Okay, we're gonna do another one. Can you do another one? You need some water? You good? She's like,
It's like, you look a little dehydrated over there. You're good to go. Skidly-doo-bow-bow, skidly-boop-bow-bow-bow.
They say like, oh yeah, and I guess someone pressed the record button and we just ended up recording the whole thing.
What the fuck?
Wow.
And there's only one made in the whole world, but also everyone's aware of this thing, and it's mine. And that's the plot. And I was like, oh, maybe when I was a youth, this would have been scary. But like even, a picture predicting death, that's still scary.
Yeah, that's still terrifying. Say cheese and die again. Shout out R.L. Stein.
But I was just
the American Junji Ito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't draw, and he's
old and
he's old, and he just writes.
weird and
I was just confused the entire time. Maybe that's a phobia I'm not aware of.
Confusion.
Music, scatting,
Scat.
Death scat.
death scats.
The scat curse,
Right.
where if you listen to someone scatting after they die, you become obsessed with scat. I'm going to give it a spoopy just because that's the lowest level of fear, but I felt no fear at all in this story.
Okay. All right. Well, my least favorite of the three I read, and I agree with Megan, I liked all three of mine. The least favorite of mine, though, would have to have been the story, I believe it's called Ancestors.
Oh.
And it's called Honored Ancestors. And, it starts with a woman who has lost her memory. And it's almost a 51st Dates sort of story.
Love it. Was Adam in it?
First.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore were. You've never seen 51st Dates, Cody?
Oh, okay. I was like, is that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore's like, I don't even know you. What are you doing here? I can't do it, Drew Barrymore.
It was good, though. It was a good,
I tried.
It was a good
I'll try again.
I was thinking
don't
of
try.
Later.
Yeah. But it starts off with her and she doesn't remember anything, and this guy it did seem kind of cool because it ended up being a play on what the author, the writer, was telling us, the information he was giving us. So at first, this guy seems as though he's the good guy. He doesn't know what happened to her, what made her lose her memory, but he's there trying to help her get it back, or he seems like he is. And it's very romantic, and he's telling her, oh, well, it's kind of great that you lost your memory because now we get to do all the things.
And you're going to watch all the movies that I made you watch when we first started dating all over again.
Yeah, which seems like a very cheap, uncreative thing for a boyfriend to do. You know what I mean? He's like, I was running out of ideas. So I just had to whack her over the head and hope she forgot everything so we could do it all over again.
Back when she thought these things were interesting about me, and now they're just sort of annoying.
Yeah, she was on the verge of breaking up with me. Good thing that truck hit her. Yeah. She can't remember a thing.
And then all those red flags they just go away.
Yeah. And then you start, and he did kind of do that. He's like, he was telling her he's like, oh yeah, you confessed your love to me, and you promised that you were gonna marry me, and all this, and that's when it started to get kind of weird. She starts hallucinating. She starts seeing things. She starts seeing a caterpillar, which is also drawn like the way he draws things. This is no new news to anybody, but the way he draws things is just very tactile. Like you can feel everything and see the hairs on this caterpillar were just like, it felt like it was crawling all over me. It was my least favorite though because of the payoff at the end. I'm not going to go too spoilery in this section of it, but there is clearly an image that I do want to pull up. I won't tell you why it happens, but I do want to pull this image up. And it's a how do I say? It's an image that was clearly made, clearly drawn, and this is what I'm thinking as I'm reading it. He drew this image and then made the entire story around this drawing. It was something cool that he saw in his head, and then created a story to go around it. So this is the picture here.
Yeah.
He keeps growing a bunch of foreheads.
So I won't really reveal what this all is until we get to the very spoilery part of the episode, but yeah, these are a bunch of kind of heads that make this caterpillar sort of worm looking body.
Wow.
And it's super, super cool looking. But as I read it, I could tell he had kind of, drawn this, saw this in his head, drawn this, and then thought, oh, I'm going to build a story around it. And then when I was reading the about section after, there's a little author's commentary after each short story, sure enough, he admitted to that completely.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, sometimes I have an idea for a story. Sometimes I don't have an idea for a story, and I just have an image, and I'll just draw that. And then in the way he said it was that it's easier for him to just draw something and create a story around it than it is for him to just think of something and then do the artwork for it. But either way, it was probably my least favorite just because, by the way, I'm amazed at how much he can fit into a one chapter of a manga. Like the other two stories that I'll talk about later are incredible in the amount of world building and detail and everything he was able to put in a chapter. But in this, it just felt very underwhelming. I didn't really care for the reveal. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. It was more about the imagery, I guess. But, it's still great.
Where's it on the scale?
Spoopy.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like human centipede of the mind,
Yeah, because we're all kind of... Yeah, well, I mean, this is our least favorite one, obviously. It's going to be on the lower scale, but... Yeah. Cool.
So let's get to your second favorite story that you read.
My second favorite, and I have a little draw. One of my favorites is one of your guys' stories, not my own.
Yeah, so for people listening or watching, we all were going to read 3, but Megan read one of mine and Cody's 3, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So one of those is your favorite out of the entire, out of all of them? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually not all of them, because I haven't read through it all. Like, I haven't read...
Of all the ones you read?
Yeah, of all the ones that I read so far. But, but my second favorite one definitely was the Marionette Mansion.
Tell us a little bit about
Marionette Mansion. So, it's this poor boy and his family and his father. They travel from town to town doing a puppet show. And they don't live anywhere. They live in this van, and they go town to town. The kids are only there for like a couple months for school. So they'll be month to month. They don't really make any friends. It's like an older brother, a little sister, and then the main character and the father. And eventually the father gets sick, and they don't really travel as much as they used to. So they're kind of just in one spot right now. And then he eventually dies, and then they kind of branch off and do their own thing. And then the main character meets this girl that he met in his 5th grade class, for the month that he was there. And she was like, oh my God, you live here now? Like, we should hang out. And he's like, yeah, we should do that. Cool. And then they hang out and they go out, and it's cute. And then he finds his brother who ran away years ago. That he just fucking ran. He's like, I'm tired of this marionette life. And he fucking like ditched.
Marionette life's not for me.
Yeah, and he left his fucking sister and his brother, just bye bitches, I'm done with this life. Yeah. And then they get a letter from him, and he's like, come to my house. I built my own house, and I have a mansion now.
Spooky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they go to the mansion. And they're greeted by this little puppet named, what is his name? Jean Pierre? Yeah, Jean Pierre. His name is Jean Pierre.
Great name for a puppet.
He is very fucking gross.
We have a little guy here with us today in the studio, by the way.
He kind of reminds me of Jean Pierre.
Jean Pierre.
I'm kind of scared now.
Yeah, should we reveal his name in honor of Spooktober? Cody has dubbed him Spooktoby. So this is Spooktoby. He's going to be lurking in the background. If you are watching the video and you see him blink, or if you see him move,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know, because I can't see. I can't. We can't. We're not looking.
Your
over
backs
there.
are facing it. Honestly, your body's kind of blocking him. So
if
he were to move,
he's probably not going to like that. He needs his camera time.
Yeah. Well, he's in frame. I mean, the viewers can see him, but yeah, he's back there just lurking. He is kind of cute, though.
He's cute.
But, you know, he's Spooktober,
Now
a.k.a. Jean-Pierre.
Okay, now it's scaring me. Stop talking about it. I don't want to look.
So it's just a mansion full of marionettes.
So, yeah.
And they never see the brother, do they?
No, Jean-Pierre greets them, and I literally wrote, just reading it, I don't like Jean-Pierre already. Just from the first interaction you have with him, they're just like playing around with him, and he's just a scary little puppet, and they're greeted by him. And they go, hey, brother, where you at? Where you at? And then the brother and his fucking family come out like this. And did you try to, there he is, Jean-Pierre.
This is him here?
That's fucking, that's him.
Okay,
that's not what I expected.
I'm going to share this. If you're watching the video, you'll be able to see.
Yeah.
This is Jean-Pierre.
That's Jean-Pierre. That is
not what I was picturing.
I thought it was going to be like a dummy with like red dots and like a
this
like
looks
big eyes.
Yeah, this looks like it was made from a tree for sure.
And he's terrifying, yeah.
Yeah, and he's terrifying.
That's Jean-Pierre. And they say, hey, brother, where you guys at? And then he comes out like this on strings. His wife comes out on strings. Their child comes out on strings. And they say, welcome to our house. And the brothers are just like
those cable commercials.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, are you guys... And they look up at the ceiling and there's just rows and rows of just, ceiling and then just rows of nothing so that people on the top level can control them. And they're like, yeah, we haven't moved in years. We love this style of living. Our bodies are completely limp, and we have a bunch of servants up there moving our every move. Who controls the puppet? Or the puppeteer? I think the puppet controls the puppeteer. And the family's just like...
the puppeteer controls the puppet.
No, 100% the puppeteer.
Couldn't be more clear on who's in control.
Yeah, and they're just like, cool. And then it just kind of gets out of hand.
For sure, dude, yeah.
I'd walk into my brother's house and be like, lit, dude, and I'd just leave.
Yeah, dude, your family's weird, man.
Especially how much he was just like against. Like the older brother was just like, yeah, I wish we could run away and not do this puppet nonsense. I don't like puppets. I think Dad likes them too much. And then he just becomes his father.
Yeah, maybe he loved him and he just couldn't be around him anymore because of how much he loved him.
Yeah. And he loves Jean-Pierre. He took Jean-Pierre. He's like, Jean-Pierre, tell me everything I know. And Jean-Pierre's like,
That's a little odd. I wonder...
The classic puppet dance.
Yeah, I wonder how many people through... Okay, puppets don't dab, Cody. Don't do a puppet dab. I wonder how many people in Hollywood have taken like a Junji Ito story and used it as inspiration, because I don't know the timeline on this. Could be even parallel thinking, but I do remember seeing a horror movie, a poorly made horror movie, where...
Saw 7.
Saw 7 with Chris Rock. Do you know that Chris Rock's going to be in a Saw movie? Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson? Yeah.
It's gonna be lit.
It does look pretty cool.
It does look pretty lit.
It looks pretty. I'm back on board.
You guys
it's in the Saw
in
universe. It's in the Saw universe.
Yeah, it's in the Saw universe. But anyway, it was a movie where...
I think the first one, and we're done. I don't know why there's 7.
Yeah.
And then also he just starts killing people and it's like, but they didn't have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hold Jigsaw to the moral code of a regular person.
We're not gonna be like, okay, Jigsaw, you did this, but why did you do this?
Yeah, he doesn't think rationally.
I liked it.
But this movie that I watched,
I thought it would be funny.
was similar, where they rolled out this this guy's dad in a wheelchair. Whole movie, this guy is in a wheelchair, and the twist at the end is that there are controls on the wheelchair, and the mom, the wife, is just controlling this guy. Spooky Weekend at Bernie's, kinda.
Oh.
That there's a Lovecraft story where like the way I like it can easily be read as a comedy, but it involves like I mean, this would be like a very long explanation.
What's Lovecraft?
H.P. Lovecraft?
You know.
You don't know H.P. Lovecraft?
You know H.P. Lovecraft.
Cthulhu? Just repeat what I say?
Just repeat what I say?
H.P. Lovecraft?
He's a famous author, horror author.
Like the founder of cosmic horror?
I mean, if you keep saying shit, it's not going to click. If it hasn't clicked yet.
You don't? A giant...
I know Cthulhu.
He created Cthulhu.
Okay.
Yeah, he called Cthulhu.
Yeah.
He fucked Cthulhu.
He fucked Cthulhu.
That was the... what was the one where they're in a village?
The village?
Innsmouth? Those people fucked Cthulhu.
Oh.
The people of Innsmouth.
Real deep cuts for you Lovecraft heads out there.
Deep thoughts for you Cthulhu fucking...
For you Cthulhu
freaks.
Fucking freaks out there.
Stop me if this goes on, or just cut it out. Whatever.
Okay, we stopped you. So...
You can't make it super quick. You can't make it super quick, Cody?
Okay, the shortest version. Spoiler for this. It's a guy like, oh, he was researching aliens, and he's like, oh, they're getting closer. And the next letter he gets, the main character gets a letter. He's like, actually, I met the aliens, and they're cool. You should come over.
Oh,
and
you
visit.
told us about this.
Yeah, and all the evidence I sent you, you should bring that over too.
Yeah.
And he goes over, and his friend's just in a chair, and he's like,
be careful, the new props.
sorry, I cannot move, my voice is different, but we'll hang out tomorrow for sure, though. Did you bring the evidence I asked you to bring?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Sorry, I can't really move that. I'll get it later. And then at the end, he finds out it was like an animatronic, and like these like aliens from beyond the stars, like, fuck, how do we get that evidence? And they had to we'll make a puppet, and we'll make him think that it's the guy.
That's pretty cool, though.
Oh, and then he scat too, huh?
And then he scat himself.
Yeah, a lot of marionette puppeteering kind of horror stories out there.
Oh yeah, this was one of the good ones. I was like at the end, jump here. I was watching and I was like, I'm watching you, little fuck. I know something's up with you.
If I had to guess, it would involve everyone ending up as marionettes. We'll talk about it on the spoiler, so that's my guess.
Right,
But
I would guess the same.
On the scale, it's probably it's like a 4.
Oh, okay.
It was a 4. I just
right.
don't I don't like
A 4 on the scale is, of course, the economy.
the economy is a 4. It's scary. It's scary.
Scary.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was very original. I like twists. I
Right.
love when a story has a good twist. I love when it has a creepy, mix with, oh, we're gonna have normal people look at people that are doing something really fucking weird, but they don't think it's weird at all, and this is their fucking life, and this is their normal. I love that.
Yeah.
When people are introduced to their world and what they're fucking doing is like, no, this is great. We love it was great.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
And
It's
then
a little twist on
The
it.
drink is also a puppet on a string. And
Yeah, how many
liquid
levels?
just comes out in like ice cubes, and it's just all on strings.
Yeah.
Each individual ice cube. I like that twist though. I think that's a cool twist for the whole kind of puppet genre. Is there a puppet genre?
I like the concept of like this obvious they must have been brainwashed and this happened, and the people are like, I don't know about the whole becoming a puppet thing. Like they're not like talking. He's like, I swear it's great. You should become a puppet also. It's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I have 4 people controlling me on top, and he built his own mansion so that there can be a level where he has the people upstairs controlling. And at one point, you see the people upstairs, and they just look at him, and they're just like dead in the face, and they have strings, and they're just like, and it's very creepy.
Damn. Okay, what was that one called? Marionette Mansion.
The Marionette Mansion. Yeah.
Nice. Cody, what was your second favorite?
Okay, the name of it was like the fashion model.
Fashion model.
That one was at least kind of scary, but also a very a hard concept for me to get into, which is a guy is reading through a magazine, and then there's one girl in it whose face is just like it's clearly inhuman, where it's like elongated and stretched out, and he's like, I don't know how she got that job. I think you'd think the criteria for a fashion model would have been a little higher.
Right.
Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll show.
Here, go ahead. Keep talking about it. I'll pull it up so people who are watching can see. But I think, because I read a bonus story in the back, and I think we're talking about the same person. Because her face was very elongated. She had shark teeth. Did she have sharp teeth? Okay.
I'll give you, the face is creepy, and then he remembers it.
Right. Okay.
And it gets creepier and creepier as he thinks about it, and he's like, I don't know what agency she went with. I feel like we could have gotten some sort of cuter fashion model.
Okay, so this is kind of her face here, Cody?
Yeah, so it starts off I guess she's just ugly. But then
Right.
it gets worse and worse, and then he can't stop thinking about it, and then he's talking about it with his friends, and they're like, oh, we should hire her to be in our movie.
And they're like, what?
He's like, well, I don't know, why would we do that? He's like, we actually got her right now. And then she's just standing next to him with that ugh. And then it's this is clearly a monster.
Yeah.
That's why I'm all his friends are like, hey, look, man, she's famous. We got a famous actor.
Well, yeah, dude, don't body shame her.
Hey, rock and bod.
Oh, nice. Tight.
And they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to go, all right, let's go film. Now we all met. He's like, I don't know if we should go with her because, she doesn't even say anything in the beginning. She's like, and then,
exactly like that.
They're driving and then they're like laughing and he's like sitting next to her. He's like, does no one else? And then they laugh.
Does no one else think this bitch is ugly?
She starts like laughing and like her mouth just opens and it's monstrous teeth and he's like, guys, like it was absurd.
Yeah.
And then like the guy driving like looks up and he's like, oh fuck, she does have fucked up teeth. Anyway, and like it's not even like they. Well, I thought like, oh, there's like some sort of curse that makes them not see this, but they're all like, she does look weird.
Yeah.
Let's drive out to the woods. And she's like, yes, I love the woods. The secluded woods. It's my favorite place. And like, just like cackling. And I was like, yep, mine too.
Yeah, she's crazy. I bet she gives good head.
Oh, she might rip off your head.
Yeah. For real, be careful.
For real, though.
But like he like gets they're like end up alone in the woods while they're filming, and she just like chases him, and he barely escapes. Like, guys, she just chased me. And they're like, whatever.
Not everybody likes you, Billy. You
She
know?
goes like this. She's running after picking up her dress. She goes.
You read
running,
this one?
Yes.
Oh, this is one of the ones you
Cackling
read.
like a mad woman, and all his friends are like, I guess that's just how she runs.
Oh.
Hey, stop making out, you two. And then things happen. I'm like, honestly, I'm glad that happened.
What's so funny is that this character makes an appearance in the bonus chapter at the very end of Shiver. And it's a super like 3-page, 4-page kind of story, and all that happens is this very beautiful girl gets hired as a model, but she has a phobia of taking pictures of herself or having pictures taken of her where parts of her body are cut off. So from the waist up, she only takes full body pictures. From the waist up, it's a phobia because then she's like, I have no legs. You know, what happened to my legs?
Act age fucking nightmare all over
Right,
again.
right.
This is my fucking life. This is my life, and this is how I make my money. But I'm gonna do it my way.
And she did
I
kind of
realize
say,
she just entered the industry, but we should cater entirely to her needs.
well, that's what they said, that she signed an exclusive contract saying that she would only take full body photos, but then obviously they broke that contract because it's the industry or whatever. And so there were pictures taken of her where she had like her arm around somebody and her arm was cut off, and she was like, oh my God, my arm's cut off. And she's like, I'm going to conquer this phobia because I haven't been able to get a driver's license or a passport or haven't been able to do all these things because they require neck up only pictures. She's like, I'm going to conquer this phobia. And then next thing you know, this character that you're talking about makes an appearance, and all the limbs that were missing in her picture, she rips them off and then puts tape around her like corpse as a frame. And so basically her mangled body is framed and all her torn limbs are outside of the frame. So in that frame, she looks pretty cool. I imagine like a camera, it's in the manga, you could see the whole thing, but I imagine on camera, it'd like slowly pan out and she'd look normal. And then as the camera got farther away, you just see those limbs that were cut off. But yeah, that character makes an appearance. And that's all that story is, by the way. Just a bonus chapter at the very end. Yeah, pretty wild. But this is your second favorite
This
of
is
the three?
Like, I was like, you know what? That like a scary concept of like no one else is like freaked out about a clear monster, and everyone's like, in fact, let's invite them as we approach the secluded woods. That would be that would be spooky.
Oh, so that's what about a number?
3.
I
was like, I definitely would not want to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was borderline comedy. The way like his friends, they acknowledge she looks like a monster.
Right.
He screams in terror about her, and they're like, yeah, let's have her on.
And then no one looked at him like, bro, that's kind of rude.
Like, this girl that you told us about, months ago that you were seeing in your sleep, seeing in your nightmares, couldn't get her out of your head. Let's have her on your production, and I think you've worked very hard for your manual, your script. You want to make it big. Let's have your worst nightmare in it. Like that part, I was just like, what? Like, why would they do this to their friend? Like, he's clearly traumatized by this woman, and they're just like, no, let's have her on.
She's kind of hot if you like look at her.
She might be good. She might.
This might be just what this movie needs.
And that's a metaphor for, I think, just how gross dudes are. You know, that they don't really care what a woman looks like.
No, because they were like, this girl's a fashion model, so she can give us clout. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like she's she's a distinguished fashion model, so she could bring people to the table, bring people to the audience. And Peter's just like, fuck, okay, whatever. But
It's a metaphor for how low people will stoop to get any clout.
That's
including hiring an actual monster.
An actual ghoul to work for them. All right. That was your second favorite. I would say my second favorite, I'm going to have to thumb through to the table of contents here to find the actual name of it. But my second favorite, oh my fucking God, my second favorite, and these are close, tied for first.
wow.
But my second favorite would be a story called Greased. It's called Greased. Very strange concept that this story has, but was executed in the most horrific way possible. The entire story just follows this one girl, and her dad owns a barbecue restaurant on the first floor of their house. Mm-hmm. And because there's not proper ventilation or whatever, all the smoke and oil and everything just rises to the top and seeps into everything. She goes home and there's oil coating the walls, coating the stairs, coating the futons, the mattresses that they sleep on, their clothes, their skin. And it's just been that way her entire life. She has an older sibling who is just an asshole, and he fucking beats the shit out of her every now and then.
Jesus.
And she catches him drinking oil. He'll just drink salad oil.
What is he, America?
Yeah, he's every
What
American.
is the brother America?
What is the brother America?
Is he America?
But for real, is he? And so what happens is he goes through puberty and he starts getting a bunch of pimples. Now, I have never in my life been so grossed out by a drawing.
Really?
It was horrendous. I don't even I can't watch Dr. Pimple Pop or anything on YouTube, but I wouldn't say I'm appalled by it.
But you can't watch it.
I don't seek it out, and if someone wanted to show it to me, I'd be like, that's fucking gross, but I wouldn't vomit. But I almost vomited reading this story just because of how it was drawn, and I pulled up a little picture here.
I would have laughed so hard if you threw up.
For everybody to see. Let me find the actual. This is it right here. Let me pull it up for everybody watching. So this guy has squeezed his entire face of pimples on to his sister.
I like her face as it's happening. It's like,
I know.
They are stringing.
No, I don't like the looks of this.
Yeah, if you're not watching this, it's just an entire face full of pimples, and each individual pimple is being popped, and pus is coming out, stringing down, like fucking the Play-Doh things where the hair would come out, just down on her face, and then as it hits her face, just the curls that he's drawn as it because it has that viscosity, and it's just curling on her face is the most horrendous thing I think I've ever fucking seen. It ends up being that, her brother is an asshole, and the dad intervenes. The dad, horrible dad, by the way, but gets worse as the story goes on. The brother ends up saying he's going to kill her, this and that. The dad comes in, stops it from happening by hitting him over the head with a frying pan, and all of a sudden the brother goes missing, and the shop starts selling some pretty tasty barbecue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I bet it's oil, deep fried, and
because,
is it really?
And because he's been drinking nothing but oil, and they've been living in this house surrounded by nothing but oil, they're like
America.
They're like America. They're very, fermented, I guess you could say.
Wow.
I don't know.
So it's just the brother that dies?
Well, without
he just
giving
drank
too
so much
away.
oil, his face is just oil.
Pretty much, dude. Pretty much. He gets bullied at school, and I felt bad for him for a second, but then he immedially beat the shit out of his sister, and I was like, okay,
Good,
well.
good.
Yeah. But
God, imagine punching him in the face, and then it's just
just getting pimple juice all over your It's actually sickening. And
that's like what eels do.
I don't know what eels do, bro, but I hope it's not that, because that's gross. That is disgusting.
eels, like, if they're attacked, they just start secreting mucus. So anything that's like has it in its mouth, it's like, oh.
That's a smart move.
The entire, like, you know, they're like something like, they have poison spikes like pufferfish, but the eels are just like, the entire planet is a shark being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, evolution. Gross them out.
That wasn't worth it.
Gross them out.
Yeah, so this is my second favorite, I will say, because of just how it was drawn. It was a strange concept, but this is all visual horror. The actual concept isn't that scary, but it's actually very strange and weird. But the way it was depicted was grotesque, and it grossed me out. It made me uncomfortable, and I did not expect. I thought I was invincible. I thought I've seen it all. I watched Faces of Death. I've seen some live leak videos. You know what I mean? I thought I was prepared. It's supposed to be this. It was this old video that was going around for sale, and it was supposed to be clips of people who had actually died, them dying.
Oh my god!
It came out later that some of them were staged and some of them were fake or whatever, but
some.
But I thought I had seen it all, and this fucking really, really made me uncomfortable. So that was my second favorite, and I won't give the ending away because we're not there yet. But that was it.
Yeah. Now at the ending, he gets some sort of face cleansing product.
He gets, what is it, Purina? No, that's isn't that dog
Purina?
food?
Yeah, that's definitely dog
Neutrogena.
I was thinking proactive. He gets proactive.
Yeah, he gets proactive. He's like, and then he's just fucking hot.
He's super hot, dude.
Yeah, and it's a metaphor for puberty, where the mucus is like it's a cocoon of pus,
right?
And you'll emerge.
Wow, a hot butterfly.
Yeah,
nice.
Butterflies are gross.
Butterflies
when you get
weird.
up close, yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
That's your verdict
my phobia.
on butterflies. You have a phobia of butterflies? Really? Strange thing to be afraid of.
I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's Spooktober, so like, why not?
So like, whatever.
Whatever. My biggest fear. One time I couldn't get in my car to like go home from school because there was a butterfly like right by a car. And I couldn't
find
get in
it
the car.
hilarious that you're afraid
not
of
funny.
butterflies.
It's a serious phobia. Look it up. A lot of people have it.
Really?
Yeah, they're gross. They're fucking. It's a bug. It's a big bug with wings.
But colorful, beautiful wings.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
There's do you know about like ancestral fear?
I think I know what you're talking about.
'Cause I know I've told you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you say it like that?
Pray tell.
No, I
Have
haven't
you
heard
heard?
of ancestral fear.
It's the idea that like, because they did an experiment where, and I guess this is just something you can do if you're a scientist, is they would beat these mice with a flower. They have degrees, and they would beat it with a flower, and then like the offspring would be afraid of the flower.
Yeah.
So the idea is like if you have an irrational phobia, it's because like in your ancestry, something probably happened. Like my phobia is sharks, and so that's like, which the name Decker is people who worked on like ships.
Mm-hmm.
So like the idea of like sharks, like something happened and that just got ingrained into like either someone survived an attack or they saw someone get attacked, like no. And then that's just so burnt into the mind.
You can pass it on. What if you have hybrid fears? Like, what if your dad was like,
you want to
really,
keep it pure?
Yeah, I want to keep that bloodline pure, that fear line pure, that adrenochrome. You know.
Yeah.
What if your mom was afraid of sharks, but your dad was afraid of like cars? Then would you be afraid of shark cars?
No.
Look it up, dude.
What are you afraid? What's your phobia?
Dude, I don't. I'm like Megan. I'm afraid to reveal it because I don't want to get fucking pranked.
I revealed it, and I'm probably gonna get pranked.
I will never prank you. I will never use your fear against you. Okay.
I believe you.
If you agree to never use mine against me.
Fine.
If you use mine against me, I'm trapping you in a room full of butterflies, and that sounds delightful.
No, that sounds like my worst fear entirely.
The horrible part too is no one would take you seriously as you were begging to be let out.
Yeah. They'd be like, she loves it.
No.
Yeah. Oh, she's laughing so hard she's peeing herself and crying.
No. Yeah, that would suck.
My phobia, my fear, and please don't show me a picture. Please, it's not funny. It's not a joke. Is I'm afraid of possums. Like deathly afraid of possums.
See, that makes sense because they would carry diseases. So in Europe, where one of your ancestors
half of me might have been from.
So that could have been a thing where it's like in that area, like, oh, if you got bit by a possum, it could have like that was like deadly because of diseases. So that was like everyone had to be like, possum, no, we have to leave.
Interesting. I think that's why I am afraid of them. So for everybody who's been calling me a baby, I'm just a survivor.
Yeah.
Who's laughing now?
That's what because I don't know why else. Like, I'm like terrified of sharks, and it's like, I don't think that's unjustified. They're horrible. They're just mouths that swim.
Are you scared of fish too?
I don't like them.
Because when we went to the beach,
yeah,
there was a bunch of fish, and I was like, Cody, go see the fish, and then he just kept like not wanting to be like touched by one. He was like, no.
I don't cotton to sea life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the sea. Just in general.
I used to be afraid. My uncle had like a swimming pool, and I used to be afraid that a hatch would open and a shark would like swim through and eat me.
Yeah, I used to be afraid of sharks in pools.
I got like 10 years later, like 2 years ago, I like told them like, oh, I used to have that. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't build a hatch with a shark to eat you. I'm like, well, I know it was.
Yeah, it's an irrational fear.
Yeah, he's like, well, you think I would spend the money and time, first of all, to get a shark.
And on you, of all people.
You're like, okay,
you think I'd do that for you?
Okay.
You're like, uncle, you didn't have to go there.
I was just trying to fondly.
Uncle.
Uncle, you didn't have to do that, uncle. Yeah, sharks in pools were pretty scary, and snakes in toilets freak me out. Yeah, but not anymore. But anyway, let's get to our favorite of the three we read.
I was like, as we're talking and as I'm hearing you guys say it, I was like super torn, and I think one of my favorites was the one I read on my side, because I really did like Fashion Model. I fucking loved that one. It was so funny, so good. She was horrifying.
Right.
And then I liked The Long Dream.
Long Dream.
I really loved The Long Dream, and I was like, fuck, I love both of these. But honestly, concept, I have to go with The Hanging Blimp.
The Hanging Blimp.
The Hanging Blimp. So pretty much this girl, one of her best friends from school, commits suicide.
Nice.
And she is very sad about it. Everyone's very sad about it. And she goes to the funeral, she's dead, and then people are saying that they're seeing her ghost around. But it's not just her ghost, it's her head. Like a giant floating head of this girl is just, people have accounted for it. And even her boyfriend is like, if you come here by 10 o'clock, you'll see your head. I'm seeing it now. It's heading east. And the friend's like, okay, sure. Like, I'll be there. I'll meet you there. And then they go, and then sure enough, there's a big fucking giant head of this girl, and she's just it's a dead head. And he's like, babe, I love you. Like, blah, blah. He didn't say that, but like, it wasn't my fault. Like, I know we were fighting, but like, I love you. And then he's climbing up this tree, and the girl's like, no, like, there's a noose right there. Like, don't go up there. And then he goes up, and then he gets caught in the noose. And then she's like, fuck, no, damn it, God.
What the heck?
And this girl
a noose in the middle of the street?
What are the odds?
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked for that guy.
Yeah.
But she's like, damn. And this girl was a huge, like, pop star, like, singer, so a lot of people knew her, and there's been a lot of suicides for her because they loved her. And this guy dies, and then she starts seeing, and she's like, am I seeing right? And then his head starts to develop, and he gets a ghost head, and then they have nooses at the end of their heads,
like balloons,
like hanging blimps. So then she
Luftballons.
then
Luftballons.
Around the world, these heads start coming out of nowhere, and it's your head, and your head is out to get you and hang you. So people are getting hanged by their own heads, swooping around, hanging people, and it's not like other people hanging you, it's your own face, your own ghost head coming to get you, and you can't go outside because it's gonna kill you. And all over the world, this is a pandemic, everyone's like, don't go outside, your head's gonna get you, lock your doors, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like apocalypse, like everyone's dying because of their heads. And it's just this girl and her family, and they're stuck inside, and there's a bunch of people dying.
Wow.
Is that a symbolism for something?
You're out to get yourself.
Wow.
You're out to kill yourself.
Don't let your head get too big.
Exactly.
If you lose your head will get you.
Yeah, keep a good head on your shoulders, or else it'll fly away with a noose tied to the end of it.
Exactly.
That classic saying.
Yep. Now, Megan, you asked me to pull up a photo, right? Of something here. So why don't you explain to us what's happening here in this photo?
So basically, you see here.
That does look creepy.
That's the girl's head, and then this is her friend, and then someone goes, oh, a monster, and then shoots the head.
Nice.
And then she goes, oh, look, we killed it. You're fine. You're safe. And she turns around, and that's her friend getting deflated. So if you kill your own head, you die.
There has to be
So
some
she
sort of
shot
metaphor.
at her own head.
No, someone
was trying to save her.
was trying to save them, being like, "Oh my God, there's monsters!" And they shot a gun at the big head, and then when she turned around, her friend was dead and got deflated like the head did.
Well,
so if you kill if you kill your head, you kill yourself. So there's no way out. There's pretty much no way out.
You're telling me that by shooting myself in my head,
I would die.
So you're saying Fight Club was just bullshit?
What do you mean?
Yeah, where's the connective tissue there? It's all in your head?
Is it?
You're your worst own enemy?
Yeah, Cody, you're the master at figuring out symbolism and metaphor. So,
well, if you get a big head,
right? This guy's got a fucking large head, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's got a. I already said it.
You did.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
You did.
And then it's like balloons.
I'm starting to get it.
News.
And then if your friend shoots your balloon, you get sad, and it's like you're deflated because now you don't have a balloon.
Your balloon is your ego.
Yeah, but the id is also the balloon and the superego.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cody, give it up for Cody. That was fucking great, dude. Wow. That's why we keep you around, dude. Just for gems like that. Yeah,
it was good.
I that's what I love about Junji Ito is that his imagination is so wild. I would have never thought of anything like that.
No.
It's so crazy, and he's able to not only convey such a odd idea, but to convey it in a very terrifying way. Like that image of the woman's face being deflated is just like such a scary thing. It also makes me think that for that story, he had just sort of that idea. Like what if, someone's face deflated, or just that image of someone being deflated, and then he kind of reverse engineered it and was like, how can we get there?
Yeah.
I do like the idea of heads and nooses hanging from them, like Loof balloons, like you said.
Like 99 of them.
99 of them.
Yeah, I like the story. I like how it stretched worldwide. It wasn't just happening with, a group of people or, a family. It was like, oh, this is affecting the whole world, and there's giant head balloons that you can't do anything about, which is super funny to me. And they're just, it's a good time. I really liked the concept. I thought it was super original. And then like reading this too, like I bought the copy and seeing all the like notes after each story about how he came up with the concept and how he was thinking. He's so creative, and he's awesome.
That was in the fashion model one where he's like, yeah, I wanted shark teeth, but then like a shark attack happened recently, so I was like, I guess I can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Just how casual he is about like everything, like explaining exactly how this happened.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love this candidness, I guess. On a scale of 1 to 5, what do you think?
I say a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Very scary.
Very
scary. Because you can't do anything about it. And in the beginning too, it's her own voice saying like, "Come out, it's okay, like everything's fine." And she's like, "I haven't eaten in days." And just like knowing that you can't go outside because your own self is gonna kill you. That's like terrifying. That's utterly terrifying.
Yeah, and one of my greatest if I'm really spooked out, the thing like that would scare me the most if I got home and if I just see myself sitting in my bed. That's the thing. I'm like, I know I'm not going to see that. Like if I saw that, I probably would just have a heart attack.
You yourself, anything with yourself, like again, like hearing your own voice talk to you. Like imagine how scary that would be.
I wouldn't be scared of that, dude. If I saw another one of me sitting on my couch when I walked in, I'm like, we're gonna have so many threesomes.
Oh, you're gonna find a third one of you?
So you're saying a girl would want to have sex with both? Two of you?
Oh, when they don't even want to have sex with one of them.
Oh, yeah. And
you'd
have a combined 6 inches.
I really set myself up with this one, huh? I really set myself. Maybe I just have fun with myself. Okay. Cody, what was your favorite one?
God,
let's move on.
It was called Shiver.
Oh, the title of the
title of the
how fucking creative of you.
It's called Shiver. What was it about?
So this guy finds out that his neighbor, she has like a bunch of holes in her arm, And he's like, what the? What's this? People don't normally have those. So that's the synopsis.
Yeah, and that's a phobia, right?
Tryptophobia.
Tryptophobia.
I don't really
Have it?
Mm-mm.
I think because there's like he was in the thing, like, because that's like a thing bugs and wasp nests end up looking like that. So I think that's like, if there was gonna be a reason that, an area that's like full of like deadly insects, because if you saw like a hive, or it could be infectious diseases that cause like rot.
Yeah. So the whole synopsis of the story is that there's people who have holes in them for no reason.
His neighbor has holes, and then he was like, "Oh, that reminds me, my grandfather died of holes." And then he's like, "I forgot. Yeah, my grandfather died from having too many holes. What's up with that? I thought it was weird with my grandfather, but now my neighbor also has a bunch of holes. I'll investigate this." And then his grandfather has notes about how, like, when I was in the war, I found a jade emerald statue, and then I got a bunch of holes. And I don't know if there was a correlation, causation, but anyway, I have so many holes I can hardly write because of all the holes in me.
Yeah.
And then he threw the statue out, and I guess it just landed in their neighbor's yard.
Oh. And so this is a cursed object giving people holes.
And I will say, it makes me so itchy.
Yeah, let's pull up that image real quick that you asked me to queue up, because it does make me feel a certain type of way too.
Wow.
I think that's why it makes you itchy, is because it's associated with a skin thing.
Yeah. 100%. And tryptophobia is a super real thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've met anybody that's been like afraid of it, but a lot of people are.
Yeah, put this on the try not to scratch challenge.
So this is the image that's made you itchy.
The whole thing. You just see someone with a bunch of holes in their arm, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah. Are you like concerned at all because of the hole in your heart that you have?
Maybe you got that statue, huh?
Yeah, maybe you got that statue.
Are you making fun of me being heartbroken?
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes. Yes, I like the applause. Yes.
And you have an invisible girlfriend.
And you also have an invisible girlfriend.
Canada.
You told us.
Yeah. That's an oddly specific location for your fake girlfriend.
I genuinely had a girlfriend in Canada when I was and I saw so many movies making fun of people that did that, so I was like, okay, well, I have to break this off.
Because no one's gonna think you're real, even if I tell them who you are.
Hey, baby, no one thinks you exist. I have to break up with you.
Yeah,
it's just him talking to like a banana. It's cut to him talking to banana in his room alone. He doesn't have a girlfriend at all. It's just he doesn't have a phone. He's just talking to a banana in the corner.
Yeah.
I like the whole we met playing video games. And the whole time we talked, I was just like, I know you're a guy. Yeah. For like years, and then eventually because I was like, I just want to play video games. Like, we weren't flirting. I was like, I just want to play video games. Oh, what's your name? Stacy? Sure. I know you're a dude. And we would just play, and then like it was like, okay, take a picture of yourself with like a fork on your head holding up like today's newspaper.
Yeah.
To prove that you exist. And even though I'm like, all right, so what, you got your niece to do that?
Oh, yeah, that was a cool Photoshop thing that you did.
Yeah.
But then she ended up being real.
Yeah, and turns out not happy emotionally that I broke things off. I'm like, now I know she was real.
That's how I know she was real.
God damn it, Cody.
Yeah, Cody.
God damn it, Cody.
I'm just a kid, and life is a nightmare.
Yep, life is a nightmare. Anyway, what would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 5?
The economy.
Wow, that's 5?
That's a 4.
Oh, the economy is a 4.
Scaly is 5.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty scary. So the highest you got, spooked, was a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. And when I'm saying spooked, I mean itched, because I'm so itchy now.
Yeah, I could see that.
Disturbed.
The band. Is it a band or is that a song? It's a band.
Disturbia?
That's a movie.
That's also a song.
Really?
Disturbia. It's like the darkness in the
copyright.
light.
Copyright that.
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
That's who sings it.
My favorite of the 3 I read was The Long Dream.
Hell yeah.
Now, this story is, as far as concept and execution, it was just so well done. It's about a guy. It opens with a woman she has some terminal disease and she's afraid to die. and she's screaming like, I don't want to die. I don't want to be nothing. I'm afraid of not existing, basically, of just not being here anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, but she has this like intense fear of death and having not accomplished what she wanted to accomplish or do what she wanted to do, and just not existing and not being here anymore is something she cannot cope with and deal with. So it starts with that, and she's screaming. And this guy comes and visits her room, and she thinks it's like the death incarnate or whatever. And you find out it's not. It's another patient in this mental hospital that she's in. Or neuro.
Gosh, we don't have to hear every single lip smack. You can like.
Oh, coming from the lippiest guy I know.
That's all before we record, and no one knows I do it.
Well,
That's
then I just look
true.
like an asshole.
You guys both look like assholes with those cat ears on.
You're jealous that you.
I
didn't
am
get
jealous. I fucking should have got one. Okay,
Yeah,
is that
you
what you want me to
should've.
say?
We'll go to the store and we'll do this whole episode again. But
We could just alternate. Anytime you change the camera, you guys can just switch. Yeah.
yeah, we could do that. We'll do that next episode. But it's called The Long Dream because this guy is having long dreams, and his dreams are getting longer and longer and longer. And every time he dreams, he is experiencing an entire life. Sometimes he's living a month. Sometimes he's living 2 months. But then as it goes on, the dreams get longer and longer. So he'll fall asleep and he'll wake up not remembering where he's at because he's lived 100 years. He's lived a life, 100 long years of life. And
A life 100 years long.
long. There we go. Words, orders, confusing.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
gonna do? Kill me?
What are you gonna do? Please don't. But yeah, and so what happens is it starts to wear on his physical appearance as well. So he starts to kind of morph into this like monster. And that was another panel that was hard to look at.
Yes.
He was an
What
eerie
is it?
Let me show
looking
Cody.
fellow.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up on the computer so
Oh, you
everybody
have it?
watching
Yeah.
can look at it too. But it's just an eerie image of this man. And they're trying to allude to him having like evolved because he's lived so long. And all these dreams, there's the doctor's monitoring them. And they happen in an instant. He reaches a point of sleep that happens instantaneously. Yet he's living an entire lifetime.
I like that face. That's appropriate for what's happening to him.
It's like the Mars attack kind of
Totally.
alien.
He's really like morphing into an alien, like extraterrestrial, a man he's been through it. And this story was amazing. And he eventually deteriorates into nastier, but yeah, that's him.
So I'm going to pull it up so everybody can see here. But yeah, this is how he starts. And it's horrifying. And then eventually he gets to this point here where he just...
Cody's face.
Yeah, it is hard to look at. It is hard to look
my
at.
God.
But
And are the whole time the doctors are like, so how do you feel today? And it's just this. It's the patient appears.
well,
to,
at first they don't believe him, and then obviously he starts changing, and then they do believe him because they're like, there's
Yeah.
no other explanation for this. He thinks he's seen, this is what I like too, he thinks he's seen the patient whose room he walked into who was afraid of death. He thinks he's been married to her for thousands of years. And he wakes up, goes to her room, she's terrified of him,
only in your dreams.
and he's like, exactly.
Yeah, literally, exactly.
And basically, he's afraid because the dreams keep getting longer and longer that eventually he's going to sleep and live an eternity. And what does that mean for him? And then obviously something happens at the end, and it's pretty great. It's phenomenal. The concept, it's so like, it's a psychological just mind fuck the whole time. The concept of just living moments outside of time and how the doctors are talking about how time is perceived. Is he in a different dimension when these things are happening?
Is he alive or is he dead? Has he thoughts within his head?
Dr. Seuss?
Yeah.
Cody Decker.
Cody Decker. Nice to meet you. But yeah, dude, it's mind-boggling, this story, and it was so well done. And for being so short, I thought it captured a lot and had a lot to say. And it was by far my favorite. It was also the first of the 3 that I read, so I thought all of them are going to be like this, and then they weren't. But
Yeah.
it was really, really, really good.
I absolutely loved that one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ray Bradbury,
Yeah.
the artist. He wrote this book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He wrote the
Fahrenheit 451.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then The Illustrated Man, which is kind of like reminiscent of this, where it's like short stories. Some of them are, gruesome. Some of them are psychological. This was like totally straight out of one of Ray Bradbury's book. Like that book, like it's so nostalgic. It felt like a Twilight Zone episode. Like it was so well done and so horrifying. And he even explains it in the manga too. He says, I wrote this short story about how if we could develop a way to have humanity, like you just go into eternal dream, you could live forever, technically.
Yeah, and
I love that.
That's what the doctor ends up kind of... There's this moral dilemma that happens at the end of the story where he pretty much... He wants to offer this woman who's afraid of death eternal life through dreams. And is that morally... Is that okay? Is that not okay? And it was just really cool. Very similar to also like maybe Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Just because Tales from the Crypt was a wackier Twilight Zone to me. It was more horror, but it wasn't afraid to be silly at times too. And it feels like Junji Ito's like, he's a very, very good horror manga artist, but a lot of his concepts from time to time can be on the silly side. But they're still depicted very horrific.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really enjoyed reading the 3 that I read. I thought they were amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
What'd you give that one?
Oh, that one? A 5. And not even
A what?
An ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
I would give that one an ex-girlfriend because
Scary.
Yeah. But I do, however, want to read this again. And I never want to see my ex-girlfriend again. That's where this rating is a little doesn't really make sense. But but yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about it? I guess we have a few minutes left, so I do want to explain what we're going to be doing the rest of Spooktober.
Do you want to like run through some quick the spoilers of the endings of those, or?
We don't have to, but you can if you want to. If there's anything you want to say.
Do you guys want to say anything?
Or
are you fine with what we produced? I'm kidding.
I'm pretty cool because I want people to be able to read it and not have it ruined for them. And we did give away a lot of plot points, but we didn't give away the endings, and I like that. But if for any of your stories, if there was something you wanted to talk about that happened.
And I just wanted to say what the endings were. So if not,
we could talk.
We could save the spoiler thing for later then.
We don't have to do that.
Your created like.
I mean, it's not that important. I'm just gonna do a new spoiler time every episode.
Cody really just wants you to do the voice. That's it. He doesn't care about spoilers at all. He doesn't want to talk about them at all. He just wants you to do the voice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next episode she'll do the voice. You can last one episode without her saying it. Are you that mad that you wanted to say? Can you say something else in that voice to make him happy?
I don't want it to be wasted, and we're just not going to talk about spoilers. So,
what if you say something else in the voice that has nothing to do with spoilers? Like,
I can't really think of anything.
It's concluding the episode time.
It's time to wrap up the episode.
It's time to wrap up the episode.
Are you fucking happy? All right.
That was good. I like it.
It was worth that smile. It was worth seeing that smile.
Ghost Volume 1 Chan.
Ghost Volume 1
That's the character. That's her.
So Shiver, I think we'll all probably give it a high rating. I will, at least. I've never read Junji Ito's work before. I don't know why, but it's a no-brainer. Obviously, everybody is aware for the most part of who he is, but it goes without saying I highly recommend it, and you guys do as well.
Highly,
Cody.
Highly.
I'll defer to you guys. I didn't get this at all.
Oh, you didn't? This wasn't for you?
I didn't understand the horror of it.
Well, I think, and to be fair, based on the synopsis you gave us of your 3 stories, I think you got the strangest 3.
Because I got goofy premises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These were more horror.
Yeah, she got straight horror. I got psychological kind of horror, and you just got goofy ass stories.
It's like, oh, I can't believe I forgot my grandfather died of holes. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
And then a record shop, and then
very goosebumpy. He got the goosebump section.
Yeah, you got the R.L. Stein section.
No, you can't play your record here at my record shop. Get the fuck out of my business.
Yeah,
that's not how they work.
You got that, and you got the ugly model
that everyone's like, hey, we found her. I'm like, what? You just got her on call? And then she's maniacally cackling about how much she loves the woods. And they're like, yeah, the woods are cool.
Yeah, Cody, you got the short end of the stick in this episode. But I think Shiver, I don't know why I've waited so long. And if you're waiting to read Junji Ito, it's October, or it's about to be. And what a better time than now to start reading some of his works. I know he's got a lot of other popular series. These are just a collection of short stories. I know Uzumaki is like one of his popular series. But yeah, check it out and let us know what you think about it. What we're going to do for the rest of Spooktober.
Let us know what your ancestral fears are.
Oh, yeah. Let us know what your ancestral fears are.
Yeah, your fearsonas are.
Fearsonas.
Let me know where you're from, and then we can put this to the test to see like if that's actually holds credence.
Yeah. Cody will figure it out.
Yeah, Cody, that's on Cody.
Yeah,
that's
he'll
Cody's
do all
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Hit Cody up to do that.
Yeah.
Hit me up. I'll get back to you at some point.
He's a busy guy.
Busy
guy.
Busy,
and I don't like social media, so try.
Try it. Try it out.
Don't think he doesn't like you. He might not.
Yeah,
like
he
you.
might not like
He
you.
might not like you.
Prove your worth.
Okay, but I love all of you for watching and listening. And what we're gonna do for the rest of Spooktober is this is the first episode. So the reason we broke it down into 3 short stories was so that we could all have a little bit to talk about before we get into October, proper October, where we're gonna all
Croctober.
What?
Croctober.
Croctober?
Croctober.
Can we get Crocs?
We all wear Crocs.
All right. I'm back on board. When Cody said something, my gut reaction was to hate it, but then you said Croctober.
I said it better.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're basically the rest of the month going to be doing horror manga reviews. I have mine picked. I know Cody has his picked, and I don't think Megan has hers picked
I
yet.
am floating on a couple options. I'm floating.
Like a balloon.
Like a head balloon.
And we have a lot of cool things planned. Like Megan said, cosplay. We have cosplay planned. We have giveaways planned. We have a full series review up until a certain point for Chainsaw Man
that we all read equally.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a comment directed towards one viewer and who had a problem with some of us not reading entire volumes.
Some insensitive jerk gave us valid criticism.
He wasn't insensitive. He gave us some.
You reacted before I finished talking.
Sorry.
I said valid criticism.
You're right. I apologize. I got defensive.
I was ironically being. I
got defensive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
You're
yeah,
just dreading him commenting, and then now you have to address that too.
yeah. But we're gonna be doing giveaways, cosplay. We want to make the month of October fun for everybody watching, and we have a lot of cool things planned. So follow us on Instagram at Volume1Pod to see everything that we're doing. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. That way you can get that way you can get the notifications when we upload episodes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and you get to see the cool visuals all of Spooktober.
Yeah, and we added the visual element in this episode too. So if you're watching, hopefully that helps. And
you can tell us who wore cat ears better.
Yes.
Oh.
And you can leave that in the comments down below. Or if you're watching, DM us or something like that. We're going to figure Twitter out too, but
there's just so many hours in the day.
Yeah, so many hours in the day. But anyway, yeah, a lot to look forward to. Cody, do you want to talk about real quick or just mention the manga that you're reading, or do you want to just keep it a mystery?
No, it's Kyoro.
And what's it about?
It's a girl in a mansion, and her cat goes away for like a day, and it comes back, but it's a little spooky. This cat. This cat, it has no eyes anymore, and it anytime she's not looking, it has like shadow tentacles, and it like a circular mouth, and she doesn't seem to be bothered at all by it. And you find out about this town that this girl lives in, why she's alone, what's happening with that cat, and the way the storytelling is some of the smoothest I've ever seen for a spooky thriller.
Oh, so you could say like, "What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa."
That is exactly what you can say.
Almost word for word. Okay, so you're gonna read
Pussycat, pussycat.
So you're gonna read it's Kuro, Kuro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we had this discussion before?
Yeah, we have had this discussion before, and
it sounds like another word.
Oh, yeah.
Where my Spanish viewers at?
Yeah, it sounds like culo. It sounds like culo.
Yeah.
Like the dog.
Right.
No.
Cujo.
Right.
We're saying we're saying different. It's okay.
Right. Just let him think that we're saying Cujo. But mine is going to be Frank and Fran. I'm going to be reading Frank and Fran. And the synopsis of that is that Fran is a girl created by the world's top biologist, originally intended to be his assistant. She was taken over his work and home while he's away. Her life is rather uneventful until various medical cases begin falling into her lap, ranging from resurrection to aesthetic surgery. So it's supposed to be like a really kooky, silly, but also like funny manga in the horror genre. So I wanted to do something a little different. And Frank and Fran came highly recommended by the internet. So that's
Cool.
what I'm going to be reading. So you're on the fence. Do you have like one or two that you're debating between?
I have a couple. I just want I fall towards the end of the month, so it's got to be something heavy hitting. It's
Yeah,
got to be
lot
something
of
good.
pressure.
A lot of pressure. So I just want to make it right, and I don't want to let down the fans.
Yeah. Okay, so Megan's will remain a mystery, and the closer we get to the end of the month,
It's a thriller. How's
what's she gonna pick? What's she gonna pick? And also in the very last episode of the month, we're all gonna be dressing up in cosplay.
Yay!
So that's gonna be something to look forward to as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I fucking love you guys. I love every single one of you watching and listening. And until next time,
Love you.
we should probably get out of here on our outro that always stays the same and never changes, which is
Shiver me timbers.
Shiver Me Timbers. What's yours?
Oh, that's it.
What was yours?
You know what?
No, say it.
I was just gonna have we all go ooh.
Yep, Shiver Me Timbers it is. Yep. Okay. Thank you guys again. We'll see you guys for the rest of Spooktober. Did you write it down?
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean
You
to
had a
interrupt.
plan. You had a plan.
I had a plan.
You had a plan.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Until next time,
Shiver me timbers.
Ooh, I have a piglet. I have a piglet.
you're an ugly woman.
Oh, what? I'm a pirate. Pirates can be women.
That was the Junji Ito.